What's up, everyone? Justin here from Tame Type 1. Just had an amazing lunch at a special spot here in my city, and I'd just like to give you a talk about because I haven't done one of these, low carb on the go videos in a while. So we're going to do one here, bit of a bonus episode because this might not be the most useful information to a lot of you. But if you're in my area, if you're in Cincinnati or in the area, you should be aware of this one, right? You should be aware of this one, okay? And I know it's like kind of location docs me to say that, but hey, if you're in Cincinnati, hit me up. We'll be friends. We can be great friends. We could be diabetic buddies, something like this, Anyway, in my part of town, in my neck of the woods, we have what's called Cincinnati chili. Cincinnati chili is it's unique to other chilies because, as a side note, chili is not generally low carb, okay? Because most of the time, chili has beans in it. It'll have beans in it as sort of a filler. Texas style chili always has this. There's a lot of restaurants, whenever they serve chili, they're always full of beans. So that's not going to be low carb friendly. And plus, honestly, I think beans just suck in general. They're not even that good for you. Like, terrible source of protein. Even if you weren't low carb, it's like you're not really getting much benefit from eating freaking beans. Stupid. I never liked them. I've never liked beans. But anyway, yeah, I avoid chili most of the time, unless I make it myself, of course. Make a low carb chili, because they always have beans in it. But you know what chili doesn't have beans? Cincinnati chili. Cincinnati chili. And they have all these different chains in Cincinnati, such as, for example, Skyline, Gold Star, and a lot of local ones too, a lot of local spots with maybe one or two restaurants that serve Cincinnati chili without any beans. And you can add beans if you want, but you don't have to. That's already a low carb W, but it gets even better, okay? Because chili on its own, you're basically getting, beef and some soupy goodness, tomato juice and whatever seasonings and everything else. And Cincinnati's kind of unique seasoning. Like, if you look it up, it's pretty unique in its flavor profile, but it's nice. It's one you can get used to, right? But a nice thing about these places like Skyline, Gold Star, and probably most of the other Cincinnati chili chains and restaurants around, even if they don't have the menu, most places have what's called either a low carb coney bowl or just a coney bowl. Just to give you some background here, the way these Cincinnati chili places work is, the staples are always 3 ways, 4 ways, and 5 ways, which are basically spaghetti noodles topped with chili and tons of shredded cheddar cheese and some additional stuff like maybe beans or onions. This makes it a 4 or 5 way. Now that might not sound so appetizing, and I understand that. I don't like spaghetti either. But that's one of their staples. That's like that's just one of the things here, right? And the other is the conies. You can either get just a normal hot dog on a bun, you can get a cheese coney or a chili cheese coney where they top the Cincinnati chili and tons of shredded cheddar cheese, right? Now, neither of those are low carb options. But then you have, like I said, the low carb coney bowl, where they actually take a bowl that they typically would use for a 3-way, right? They fill it with chili, they put 3 hot dogs in there, cover it with tons of cheese, maybe you can add some onions in there too, and that's it. Just meaty, bean-free chili, hot dogs, and cheese. Now, if you're not initiated into the low-carb sphere, you might look at this meal and be like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound healthy at all. Some serious slop going on. I would partially agree. Yes, it is some serious slop, but it is some good stuff. It's good eating, and yes, it is low carb, and it's on the menu in some of these places. Not all of them, but even the ones where it's not on the menu, you can still ask for it, and they'll give you a bowl with just hot dogs, chili, and cheese. And it's honestly just the best thing ever. Nothing beats it in my book. Just perfect, just absolutely perfect. And just wanted to make note of that. Sometimes you're at these local spots. Like, I'm sure whatever city you're in, if you're in a city, you might have some weird local dives and local chains as well. And it turns out there might be something low carb on that menu as well. So even if you're not in Cincinnati, hey, take some advice from this video. don't be afraid to experiment, because when I first discovered the Pony Bolt, it was experimental too. I had to really dig around. And I found online, well, you can order this if you try, and so I did, and now every Cincinnati chili place I go to ask for a Pony Bolt, and they always give it to me, right? So that's all I have for you today. Just a little something about one of my favorite joints, Skyline Chili, Gold Star. I kind of think they're all the same, honestly. You know, they have this sort of competition, kind of like Xbox and PlayStation, where they're really very similar, except the spice is just slightly different, right? But people swear up and down they have total allegiance to one or the other, Skyline or Gold Star. I think both are good, right? And I'm sure, like I just said, maybe you have some local chains like this as well. But that's all I'll leave it at today. You know, if you got your own local treat where you can find some low carb that may or may not be on the menu, hey, tell me about it in the comments below. If you're in Cincinnati, hey, let me know that as well. It'd be good to hang out with some low carb diabetics like myself. You know, there's not so many of us, as you might be aware. But I'll leave it at that. Y'all keep finding your unique ways to eat low carb on the go and keep on taming that type 1.